Alright, so we're going into game 3 of TandemFelix vs. Trump, and spawning on the top right we have Trump as the yellow Terran, and of course TandemFelix spawns in the other position at the bottom left as the purple Terran. It's going to be another TVT, and in game 1 we saw TandemFelix do a pretty good Marine tank all-in, and he won on Tal'darim Altar. And then in game 2, which was also on Tal'darim Altar, we saw both players went for a 1-Rax expand, and Trump was able to get siege tanks pretty quickly and medevacs, and he managed to win the macro game. So I wonder if we'll see another all-in, or what's going to happen in game 3 here. Anyway, nothing really exciting, and I'm out of stories, so we'll just sit in silence and observe while both players execute their builds. Well, primarily because there's nothing really exciting happening. I mean, he's making a barracks. Okay, he pretty much has to. There isn't really anything to say about that. I guess I will comment on TandemFelix going for the scout while Trump is not. And he's going to harass this SCV again, which is always extremely annoying for Terran players, because he does manage to delay the barracks by a couple of seconds. But Trump does pull down his own SCV to help, so he's going to be fine. Alright, so here's, I guess, our first major difference. Felix has his gas up. He might be going for that same factory build, whereas Trump is going for a 1-Rax expand again. No gas or anything like that. Yep, there's the factory. He really liked this build. I think, though, the main things that make this build work are not available on Tal'darim Altar, because you can't really siege up below the natural. Like, there's nothing here. There's no ground. So if he shows up with these Marines and tanks, he can definitely do a tank contain, siege up here, and then he can start pressuring inward. But he doesn't really have the same ability to just be completely safe and just demolish the natural that he did on Tal'darim Altar. So in tune with that, it looks like he's going for a 1-Rax factory expand with Hellions rather than siege tanks. So it makes sense. I think that's a lot, or a very good decision to make, basically. Looks like he's got this reactor just to make Hellions with. He makes 1 Hellion, and then he's going to get 2 more. And if he's sticking to Hellions, we'll see him throw down a Tech Lab so that he can get that Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade. But if it's more of a transient thing, then he'll probably make another barracks, and or get started on his starport so he can get medevacs. Looks like Trump's gonna go out with these early Marines. Oh, they're just moving to the front of his base for defense. Okay, that's cool. And Trump's getting his own factory, so it looks like this time he's the one a little bit behind on tech. Looks like Felix has started that starport as expected. He doesn't have a tech lab yet. He's probably going to swap this reactor over to the starport after he finishes. So I'd be a little bit surprised to see him make only Hellions for the rest of the game, because he didn't, he doesn't have blue flame for them or anything like that. So he needs to go back to sort of the bio composition, I expect, pretty shortly. He's not going for the swap yet. He's going to make another Hellion, okay. And he's going to move out with these Hellions. Trump's got a really good spread of Marines here. The Hellions would have to come up right over here or here in order to hit all of them. So they won't be as effective with their sort of line of sight area of effect as they could be if he had different positioning. Yep, and Felix sees that immediately and backs out with all of his Hellions. Excellent, excellent decision. Looks like Felix is supply blocked briefly here. He's about half a depot behind. That's not good. Same time, Trump is he's got his starport going, and he started making medevacs. Whereas Felix has had the starport for a while. He's just now making a Viking, but he hasn't done anything with it for quite some time, despite getting it this early. And oh, he's supply blocked again. This is really bad. He just started his second depot there. Or no, he's got 2 in production. For some reason it shows them as not quite done, even though they are almost done. Oh, sorry, I was looking at Trump, that's why. Does manage to bust through with the Hellions, but the siege tank is easily going to clean them up. So Trump's going to move down with his little marine tank force here, and he's not going to have any trouble dealing with these Hellions. He even gets 2 of them for free, essentially. And he's got his medevac in position, so he'll be able to heal off these Marines. This bunker could be tough to break, but he did finish siege tech, so he can just siege up over here and kill it without taking any damage. Hellions are hiding back here, but is Trump going to spot them? Nope, they're going to sneak past him, and he doesn't have much in the way of defenses here. You should always keep a siege tank sieged up in your base, and it looks like Trump has failed to do that, so these are going to be able to sneak in here. They're going to run straight into the main and start killing shit. These SCVs are pretty much all dead, but you know, I mean, of course that looks bad for Trump because he's going to lose a lot of workers, but at the same time the question is it going to matter? Because he could get away with a lot of workers, but wait, he's got a bunch of Marines there. That's surprising. So say if he kills a lot of workers, then it doesn't matter if he doesn't have an army, because Trump can just kill the entire base. But he throws down the scan, picks off a couple more Hellions. And he pretty much handled this in his base. It looks like he didn't lose, whoops. Sorry, wrong button. Looks like he didn't lose any workers. So Trump is in a really, really strong position now. Now Trump's expanding and pressuring at the same time. I think he's pretty much got the game won, because he's in a really strong advantage of a position here. He can just tank contain pretty comfortably, keep these Marines here. Of course, he's going to lose this to the Viking, which is really annoying. But as long as he doesn't mess up, he can just make more expansions, make more units, and starve his opponent to death. Calls down the mule to repair, but he loses the tank. So this mule got he needs to send this mule back to harvest minerals. Looks like it got wasted though. Trump's got nearly double his supply, so I think the game is pretty much, unfortunately for Felix, I think it's over at this point. Oh, he's going to snipe the siege tank for free. Yep, there's GG.